Hey everyone, it's Ashley from Atlassian, and I am so excited today to talk with Tom Casson, who is the Director of Retail for one of our team award winners, Mike's Bikes. So Tom, good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So congrats on the win, first off. We'll be
Thank you.
featuring you whenever our virtual summit kicks off tomorrow, so that's exciting. One thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is kind of why y'all are such a great place to work. And I know you have 5 values very similar to Atlassian. So
Yep.
what are they, and kind of how does that influence the work that you do at Mike's Bikes?
Yeah, so we're a bicycle shop, and we have an online presence too, as most good bike shops do these days. But our heart and our soul is a retail company, and our 5 values are the greater good, teamwork, awesomeness, competition, and continuous improvement.
I love that. One thing that most of them are pretty self-explanatory. What does awesomeness look like? I think that's I think it's an awesome value. So what does it look like in practice?
It's pretty much like if we're going to do something, it's got to be awesome. So when we bought a Sprinter van for events, we didn't just get a Sprinter van, we got a kegerator installed in it, and it's got blue underglow lights. And, so if we're going to do something, it has to be really good and really awesome. And so, yeah, that's one that we kind of joked around with for a bit, but we're happy it stuck.
Yeah. So how do you make the trade-offs in terms of cost versus awesomeness versus how do the values kind of work together? Because I know at Atlassian sometimes there's tension between the values. They don't work by themselves. Right. They all have to work together. So how does awesomeness work with, for example, the greater good?
So the greater good is we believe in the power of bicycles and, really what they can do for people. And bicycles are awesome. Yeah. And so everything just kind of really ties back to itself. Our greater good is one, doing the right thing for our customers and our employees, but also we have a foundation in Africa that we take bikes from donations in our stores in Northern California, send those to Africa in a 40-foot shipping container. We essentially cut a hole in the side of the shipping container, and that becomes the bike shop. So it serves, underdeveloped areas with transportation to healthcare, medical needs. And that's an awesome thing to do. So, everything just really, ties back into one another.
Yeah. That again, the word awesome, it just keeps coming back. I'm like, that is awesome. Also awesome. I see we have JT who has joined us. Good to see you. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. JT, can you tell us a little bit about what you do at Mike's Bikes? And then we'll talk a little bit about how that role influences the team and the work at your store.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm the general manager at the Walnut Creek store. So I oversee a lot of the day-to-day operations from the tech department to the sales side of things, and kind of give everybody an idea of what direction that we want to go in and how to do that. Which is super fun, and I enjoy it. They give us some freedom here to kind of run the store in a way that we like, with nice guidelines, and so yeah, that's what
Very
we do.
Cool.
What I do.
Yeah. So you, as Mike's Bikes, have been recognized as a great place to work. What are some of the unique cultural aspects, both that permeate every store? And then JT, I'd love to hear for your store specifically. What are some of the cultural aspects that make the team awesome and make it a great place to work?
Sure. I mean, for us here at this store, a lot of the guys do group rides together. So there's a sense of community, and everybody is stoked on what everybody else is doing. And so it's great to be able to bring that level, personally inside to the store, and then be able to give that to the customer as well. And I think one of the coolest things that Mike's Bikes does is that if you get a new bike, you get a paid day to be able to go ride that bike. And that's just one of the things that Mike's Bikes does here that's, awesome, and that I really like that they do, for sure. They definitely push for, being happy and riding your bike. And we're all about putting more butts on bikes. So
I love that. Put more butts on bikes. See, I had a bike for a while, and then it got stolen. And so I have not replaced my bike yet, but I need to do that because we have, lovely trails and stuff. I'm in Mountain View, California, so we have nice sunny weather. So butts on bikes, I'm going to make that my goal after this call to get on that.
Well, we have a store in Palo Alto. I'll give us a little plug. You can go in there and we'll take care of you.
Yes. once we get done with all of the social distancing, I can go to the Palo Alto store.
Absolutely.
For sure. So Tom, one thing that you've kind of spearheaded in some cases is going from, you know, paper and pencil and silos between stores to making the move to making everybody more connected. And so that ability to not just pass on that happiness to the customer and pass on that happiness to the employee, but also to pass on that efficiency and those, you know, insights from each other. Talk to me a little bit about that transformation.
Yeah. So before I took this role, I used to manage a store like JT. And we had a paper test ride form where we would, you know, it took care of the legal liability standpoint and gathered customer information. And it was great. It served its purpose, but I kept thinking we have all this really good customer information, but we're not doing anything with it.
Yep.
And so that's where, you know, Trello came around, was an area for us to put all that information in, set it up in a way that is kind of cohesive to the bicycle sales cycle. And one area where all 12 stores and admin can log in and see really what's going on at any time. Through the Jotform integration, we now have a digital test ride form that flows right into our Trello board. And, you know, we're serving customers better because of it. We're not losing track of the paper test ride form. We're inputting customers' names the right way in, so we're, you know, pronouncing their names right when we call them. And it was just, yeah, it's been a game changer for us. And we're really excited on how it works.
That's such a small detail about pronouncing the names correctly that you wouldn't think when you say like, oh, we're going to move something onto Trello, or we're going to change these forms to be digital. But the realization that now, you know, wherever you're going, or some notes about the customer and what, you know, maybe they're looking for in a bike or in their rides, or what style that they normally ride, like that's a huge thing to really be able to have that customer care. Are there any other, you know, and whether it's a technology standpoint or a training standpoint for the employees that y'all use to really make that connection to your customers?
Yeah, we use, all of our training is handled centrally here. I put on the sales classes, and then we've got an online platform, Miyagi, that we use, which is a retail educational tool. But for us, the big thing that we want to get across is we want a consistent experience between all of our shops. So if you go into one shop to buy a bike, drive an hour to, you know, another shop to pick it up, that you're greeted the same, the experience is the same. And I think that's really important for retail to be successful in 2020, is a good customer experience. And whether that's calling here at HQ to get a hold of somebody on the phones with our online team, and then that, you know, flows through Trello into the shop. So yeah, for us, it's very important to control that message and make it consistent across all our locations.
Well, that's awesome. And it has been awesome speaking with both of you. If you want to learn more, go to Atlassian.com/summit, and also check out Mike's Bikes to get your butt on a bike.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.